FastFusion is the fastest anti-grav racing game you may have ever experienced. Race your anti-grav vehicle through brilliant tracks such as the beautiful Redwood Forest, the storm planet Tempesta, or through the lofty heights of Yama Crest. What's up, everybody? It's the 12 Gauge Geek here with another video for you guys, and today we're looking at FastFusion. So FastFusion was a launch title with the Switch 2. Believe it or not, this game got overshadowed by Mario Kart World. I didn't even know it was coming out, and it's a pretty cool game. It's made by, I believe it's pronounced Shin'en is the company that developed it, and the company that published it is Shin'en Multimedia. It's a very small company, I think. When I finished all the tracks on the game and saw the credits, there was a lot of the same names repeated over and over again. So I think a pretty small studio, and they did a great job with this game, guys. This game has 1 to 4 player local co-op. It was pretty well received. You know, Nintendo Life gave it a 9, IGN gave it a 7. So that's, you know, between the two you could average what is that, 8. It's a pretty good game. It's not bad in my opinion. So it says right on Shin'en Multimedia's site. What better way to just give you guys a good synopsis? It says, FastFusion is the fastest anti-grav racing game you may have ever experienced. Race your anti-grav vehicle through brilliant tracks such as the beautiful Redwood Forest, the storm planet Tempesta, or through the lofty heights of Yama Crest. Use the exciting Fusion ability. Fusion lets you create hundreds of improved racing machines by fusing your favorite vehicles into new ones, with improved specifications and unique looks. Risk it all by mastering the new anti-grav hyper jump technology to get ahead of your opponents. And it says here on their website, features hypersonic speed, the fastest racing game you may have ever experienced, non-stop pumping adrenaline action at 60 FPS in up to 4K HDR, motion controls, HD rumble, play with smooth motion controls, enjoy immersive HD rumble, and customize the buttons. So the game does have, even here it listed on their website, I haven't tried this, it says that if you own the game, I believe if someone else you know has a Switch 2, you can almost do a Gameshare option, I think, to where you both can play the game, you know, on separate consoles but racing each other. And I'm not 100% sure how that works, as far as if it's like just for the game, or, you know, the session that you're playing with the person, or if it's for a specific amount of time, like their game sharing system they have. I've never tried it out. But aside from that, pros and cons just personally about the game has great graphics, guys. Looks really good for the Switch 2. They were listing it as pretty much a way to show off the Switch 2's power. You know, the HD rumble, show the power in the 4K, the HDR, just pushing the Switch 2 to its full limitations, I guess, is what they were trying to do. I'm not sure if they did that, but they did a really good job at showing what the Switch 2 could do, as far as I see, like the way water droplets actually spray on your screen, the crispness of how the game feels when I'm pulling through certain turns, or weather effects are being imposed on my vehicle. I can almost feel the G-forces, like they're about to rip apart the car. It was really cool. They did a great job with the way the racing feels in this game. It took me a while to kind of understand the boost. It's blue and then it's red, I want to say, are the two colors. I'm a little colorblind. It might look orange to me, but blue and red I'm going to call them. So I didn't realize that, you know, you just press the button to switch between one or the other. The first few races I was doing this, I was like holding it and not realizing that I had to switch before the next color came up. So I kind of felt like a a little slow when it came to that. It was really obvious to me after. But that whole mechanic is pretty cool. I like how as the races ramp up, they start to incorporate more different uses of that system. They have boost coins listed all around the track. The track has environmental factors, like in certain tracks there may be asteroids that are just plummeting at your vehicle that you have to dodge out of the way. There's lightning bolts in certain mechanical traps that will fire off at different intervals. I remember one track that I played had these huge fans that when you come by them you can almost feel the pressure or the push of the fans on your vehicle, like it's trying to push you off the track. And in that track you're like racing tens of thousands of feet up in the clouds in some futuristic track. It's crazy, because I remember I drove right off one time and I was like, ah! It was wild. The environmental factors are really cool, guys. I like them a lot. They have swinging logs, and then also when you jump and do the anti-grav hyper jump stuff that they are talking about, it's basically like your vehicle is jumping up in the air and you can traverse gaps or jump into certain boost sections. I think that really opens up the game a lot for doing different shortcuts and avenues. I definitely didn't explore this to its full potential because I definitely had trouble in the, I believe it's subsonic version. It's the lowest beginner tier of the racing championships that you do. I unlocked the second tier, but I haven't started those tracks yet as of currently filming this video. But aside from that, the vehicles that I have unlocked so far, they're really cool. All the cups that you unlock and all the vehicles and everything, it's all coin based, and the game is very generous in the amount of coins that they give you. I didn't really need to grind too many times to unlock all the championships. I maybe had to do 1 or 2 extra races in that first beginner section. But as far as unlocking vehicles, I believe there are like 12 or 18 that I had seen. You probably unlock more as you go, and I didn't even purchase all of them. I maybe purchased 6 or 7 because I was more focused on getting the actual championship cups, and I didn't even take advantage of even fusing any of the vehicles. So I can't really give any true review on the fusion aspect of the game, but it's just another layer that's probably really cool. It's something that I'm going to try over and over again. I know once I try it, I'm going to just love all the different combinations. But as of the current beginner races that I was doing, the stock cars that they give you seem to work perfectly for me. So that's what I had used at the moment. But guys, it's only $15 on the Nintendo Switch. It's a small studio. Obviously, it's not physical because everything with the Switch 2, Switch 2 game, by the way, sorry, and everything with the Switch 2, it's only going to be, a digital game. So that's kind of a negative, I could say, as far as a con about the game. Another one would be, and that's not necessarily their fault about there not being a physical edition to the game. That's more Nintendo, because of the way they did their whole physical cartridge and gigabyte amount and pricing for that. But aside from that, the other cons that I would say, the game only has local co-op. It has a 1 to 4 player local co-op to basically incentivize that good old school, couch co-op style of gameplay, get your whole family in. I think this one would be a really good one for friends to play, families to play together. Me and my wife are looking forward to playing the game together. But aside from that, I wish the game had a online multiplayer. I think that is the biggest setback for the game right now. And if Shin'en, if that's how it's pronounced, if you guys are ever seeing this, I doubt you will, please give us multiplayer. It would be so amazing. Just some sort of rudimentary ranking system. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I would take anything. I just want to race other people online. to have that thrill of knowing I'm not just racing bots. Even though the bots do put up a pretty fair difficulty, if I'm being honest. I'm not the best racer. When it comes to racing games, I really have to lock in, and that takes me a while. And then my attention span is like that of a toaster. So from one race to the next, I may just zone out, and then there goes me smashing into a turn, or I flub here and there, and now I've gone from first to eighth, and now I finished the race in fourth place. It happens to me all the time in Mario Kart. It happened to me a couple times in this game. It took me actually several times to get the first place in 2 of the championships, but that's probably more just a me thing. But I'd like to race people because it'd be fun. So that's another one of my cons. And then small con, not even really a con here, but just something I want to note about the game. It only has 15 tracks. 12 tracks, I believe, are FastFusion tracks, and 3 they just recently added to the game, I believe, from Fast RMX, I believe the game is called. I never played it on the Nintendo Switch, so I believe that game is the successor to FastFusion, but they added 3 of those tracks from that game into this game to make it 15 total, and I'd just like to see more tracks added over time. So that's not even a con, that's just something I'd like to note for the game. Only cons I could say is no physical cartridge and no multiplayer. That's the biggest one. No multiplayer is just sad. The game does have, aside from the championship mode, it has a superhero mode, and then there is a time trials mode. So I tried the superhero mode once, and I was curious as to what it was, and it was the same championship races, but you have to complete the 3 laps without dying, which is pretty hard. I think I got through a lap and a half, and some asshole bumped me, or I might have flubbed on a jump and came down on the guardrail, and your vehicle will flip out. It's gonna smash. It's a really theatrical crash. I love the way they do it. They did a great job with that, especially when people bump you. It's like, oh, you bastard. But yeah, that's hard to do 3 laps on some of these races without hitting any of the obstacles, without any of the enemies damaging your vehicle, because when you pick up boost coins and blast next to somebody, I believe the reverberations is what's doing it. Something in that mechanic is causing the players next to the person who is boosting to be wiped out. So you basically blast past them and they spin out, and it works really well. I believe you collect their boost coins or get boost coins from doing it, so it enables you to get more boost. It's a really cool system and a nice way to screw other people that you're racing. And I'd say it's a good one to pick up, especially because there's not enough games right now, in my opinion, on the Switch 2. Although, as I'm filming this video the day before the release of Donkey Kong Bonanza, Shadow Labyrinth is also coming out the same day, which is getting eclipsed, I believe, by Donkey Kong Bonanza, but that's okay. And later in the month, we will get on Switch 2, it's the Walking Village. So there are some cool games to me that I'm interested in that are coming out, and some cooler ones coming out in August. But as far as the Switch 2's release, this being a launch title would have been cool to have right out the gate. I didn't know about it. I only had Mario Kart World, and I picked this up, once I heard about it 2 or 3 weeks down the line, after not really playing the Switch too much or reverting to playing Nine Souls, a Nintendo Switch 1 game. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to ramble on a bunch. This FastFusion review, guys. If you like this video, like. If you didn't, give it a dislike, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps to build the channel. And thanks for watching.